wanted to spend today just working on what I would call, or what others might call, noticing what is, and just making space to notice what is occurring in this moment right now. And that might be physical discomfort or pain that you're experiencing. That could be some sort of emotion, but just a way to more deeply root into the here and now rather than dwelling on what's occurred in the past or what we're anticipating in the future. And if you're like me, I spend most of my time in either of those places, and I'm really trying to make more concerted effort to be more in the present moment with what's happening right now. And so I'll walk you through a short exercise together. You don't have to have ever done meditation to participate. And if you've joined me before, even better. But if this is your first time, welcome. So I would invite you, if you're seated in a chair, I like to scoot forward to the front of my chair. And I just do that because it forces me to sit upright and to have a posture that's a little bit more alert. But if you are lying down, that's fine. If you want to lean back in your chair, that's fine. If you want to stand up, that's fine. However you want to do this is fine. But I'm going to be seated towards the front of my chair. I just put my hands on my knees. I have my feet firmly on the ground. And I'm going to close my eyes because I find I get very distracted easily visually. The slightest thing can kind of catch my attention. And I'm really wanting to take this time to go inward instead, and to a certain extent tune out all of the normal distractions in my day-to-day. So you can keep your eyes open or you can close them, but I'll go ahead and close my eyes. And I'm just going to quickly check my posture here. So I'm going to push my feet into the ground. Just put a little bit of pressure as if I was standing in front of you, pushing down on your knees, just to activate your feet and to feel that sensation that the ground is beneath you, supporting you. Then I'm going to bring my awareness to the chair that's on my bottom and supporting my body, holding me up. I'm going to check that my spine is straight. And I'm going to go ahead and, just to release some tension, I'm going to go ahead and lift my shoulders up to my ears, roll them gently backwards and down, and just let them sit there. That's just a way of releasing tension and making sure my posture is okay. And then I'm going to check my chin is slightly tucked. I'm going to wiggle my jaw back and forth just to release any tension there. And I'm going to bring my awareness to my forehead and just relax. I tend to scrunch up my forehead a little bit and just want to relax into this moment. I'm going to bring my awareness to my fingers and my hands and just notice where they touch my legs. And bringing my awareness to my legs and the heat that I feel there from my hands. And then back to the palm of my hands and the sensation of each of my fingers touching my leg. And then I'll bring my awareness into my belly, and I want to try to consciously release any tension in my belly. So I'm going to take a deep breath and expand my belly out, and then I'm going to release that with a sigh. That felt really good. I'm going to do 2 more of those. A deep belly breath in and an exhale with a sigh. And now, before we go into our main exercise, I'm going to take a few moments here just for us as a group to sit in silence. And my intention in doing that is to just give us room to slow down. We have so many things going on throughout the day. our attention is bouncing around between so many different things, I just want to make space to slow down and actually arrive in this moment. And so, as a practice, I would encourage you to label your exhales starting with 5 and counting down to 1. And if you lose track, that's okay. Just start over again at 5. But that's just a little technique to give our mind something to focus on, something to ground our attention and keep our minds from wandering. So I'm just going to exhale and count that in my head as 5. My next exhale I'll just label as 4. And I'm going to continue all the way down to 0 and then start over again. There's no end in mind. We're just giving our mind something to do. And we'll stay here for about 2 or 3 minutes in stillness together before we move on to the main exercise. And if your mind wanders or drifts off, that is completely normal. But just use this as a brand new opportunity to start over, counting 5 down to 0, labeling each exhale and repeating. And then letting that part of our practice go. Just checking in with how you're feeling right now. Oftentimes, an analogy is used with meditation of a clear mountain stream. And if you were to put your hand into that stream and push it down to the bottom and move back and forth vigorously, you would kick up a lot of the mud and silt and dirt in that stream, and it would be really cloudy. But slowly over time, all of that sediment would start to settle, and eventually that stream would be clean and clear and crystal clear again. And I often find that with mindfulness as well, that as I make space to slow down, as I make space to allow my awareness just to rest on one thing, that my whole body starts to calm down, and I do see things a lot more clearly, things outside of myself, but also things inside of myself. So I would invite you now to just notice what is occurring right now within you. That might be something physical. You might notice the pressure on the bottoms of your feet on the floor. You might notice the sensation of clothing and where it touches your skin. It might be a sound around you, maybe the air conditioner or someone in a nearby room. It might be some discomfort. Maybe you notice pain in your back or your stomach growling because you're hungry. Maybe you notice fatigue. That's very, very common. To just when you slow down, notice how tired you are. And whatever physical sensation you notice, as much as possible, just trying to observe it neutrally, just noticing it as an interesting thing to see. Isn't that interesting? The left side of my neck aches a little bit right now. Not trying to ignore it, not trying to push it away, but just allowing it to be there. And beneath, or maybe in addition to the physical sensations, as we sit in stillness, you may also notice an emotion. I'm noticing right now I feel physically tired, but I also feel a little bit of sadness. And whatever emotion you feel right now, in the same way, just noticing it, acknowledging it. No need to change it. No need to try to feel a different way. No need to make it wrong. I shouldn't be sad right now. I should be happy. Just noticing what is right now. And as much as you're able to, having a sense that that is exactly how you're meant to feel right now. If you feel lonely, if you feel excited, if you feel a sense of dread, if you feel a sense of longing or happiness, or if you feel nothing, if you just feel numb, whatever it is, just noticing like a detective. No right or no wrong, no way it should be. Just observing what is going on in your inner world, whether that is a physical sensation, an emotion, or some combination of both. And re-observing, noticing if that physical sensation or that emotion is still alive, if it's stronger now, if it's weaker, if it has dissipated and maybe there is something else occurring now new. But just setting an intention that moment to moment, you're just slowing down, turning inwards, and noticing what is right now. And whether it is the same thing that was occurring a few minutes ago or something completely different, either way, just observing, just noticing like that independent detective. Isn't that interesting? I'm now feeling excited. I'm now feeling hopeful. I feel a looseness in my belly. Isn't that interesting? And just allowing the physical sensation or the emotion to remain as long as it needs to, not rushing it in or clinging to it to stay, just neutrally observing what is occurring right now. We'll stay here 1 or 2 more minutes, not too long. If your attention drifts off, that's completely normal. but trying to gently realign your attention inwards on your body, on your emotions, on your physical sensations, on your feelings. What is alive right now? What is occurring right now within you? And if you don't feel anything, that's okay too. Maybe that's what you're meant to feel right now. And then taking a deep inhale again into your belly. Let it out with a sigh or a movement or whatever feels good in your body. And just checking in one last time, bookmarking how you feel in this moment. Do you feel the same as when you started? Do you feel different? Either one of those is fine. But just taking stock of what you feel after a few minutes of mindfulness together. And then just bringing sensation back into our bodies. I'd encourage you to wiggle your toes, maybe make a fist with your hands, wiggle your fingers, move your shoulders back side to side, move your head a little bit just to reacquaint yourself with your body. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and return to the call. All right. Well, thank you all for joining today. Thank you for practicing with me. I would invite anyone who would like to type in either what you experienced or any question you have, any sort of sharing, what that was like for you, what you noticed. Take care. Thank you.